And this sounds stupid, but I promise this is what I used. I have lost 65 to 70 pounds. It's almost like our bodies were designed to work this way. It's crazy. So, after my leukemia diagnosis, I endured about 8 months of chemotherapy where I took all sorts of pills at home. One of those pills, which I've talked to you about before, is prednisone. And golly, me and prednisone do not get along. I remember being like in fits of rage over prednisone. It was like 200 milligrams twice a day or maybe once a day. I don't know. My family pretty much hated me before I figured out how to get control of it because I was a monster on some days and it was bad. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. This video is about the fact that prednisone and being on it for 2 years ballooned my weight like crazy. Okay? I had never been skinny, but my goodness, I got fat on prednisone, or at least I felt like I did. I look back at pictures and it's almost embarrassing the way I looked. Okay. So in 2020, after I was done taking the prednisone in April, I kept eating. It was COVID. There was nothing to do but eat. So I stayed at home and I ate and I ate and I ate and I ate and I ate. Not good. Not good. I finally realized how big I was getting and I was tired of it and I had to stop it somehow. I had experimented with things in the past. I've always tried low carb. I've always tried to just eat lower calorie foods. Not consistently, mind you, but I would go. I guess it's yo-yo dieting. I dieting, dying, ugh. Yo-yo dieting. I would go on a diet for a little while, and then I'd get tired of having the self-control, and then I would move on to the normal eating, and oh boy, could I eat. Sometime in 2020 or early 2021, I can't even remember now. I know I know it wasn't 2020. Well, it wasn't fall 2020 because I have pictures of me at my father-in-law's funeral where I'm still fat. So, sometime after that, I decided that I didn't want to be like this anymore. Now, I had experimented with intermittent fasting for maybe the last 10 years. So, I mean, we all know what fasting is, right? It's when you don't eat. Trust me, I didn't go on a starvation diet. I mean, some would argue that I did, but I did not go on a starvation diet. Intermittent fasting means you fast sometimes. So, I would fast for like 18 hours a day and eat for 6. Now, not a solid 6, that would just be my eating window when I was allowed to eat, and that's really easy to do, okay? Basically, you skip breakfast and you start eating around noon and you stop eating at around 6. So, you get lunch, you get supper, you skip breakfast, it's no big deal. It's pretty easy to do. However, when I did it in the past, I would try to cram all of my normal calories into that 6-hour eating window, and that just does not work right, okay? Maybe for some people, it did not work for me. I would lose a little bit of weight and then I would fall off the bandwagon and here I'd go again. Okay. Man, am I saying okay a lot? So I would do the intermittent fasting for a little while and then I would just stop. I would stop doing it. And I would sometimes do low carb, sometimes do low calorie. Sometimes I would combine the two because I was really getting serious this time. However, it never really worked. But then, sometime in late 2020 or early 2021, I decided I was done and that I was going to do it for real. So basically, I went to one meal a day. And in that one meal, I ate as little as I possibly could. Now, that's probably not the healthiest thing that you can do, but that's what I did. And it worked. And I did this for 2 or 3 years. I'm still doing this in 2024. Not as hardcore as I was back then, but I am still doing this in 2024. Intermittent fasting, sometimes 16-8, sometimes 18-6, which 16-8 means that you do not eat for 16 hours a day. 18-6, you do not eat for 18 hours a day. But what I really like to do to put myself back into it is OMAD, 1 meal a day. And it works. It works, folks, unbelievably well, but you have got to be consistent. So, how did I do it? Well, first, I started with going kind of keto, dirty keto, definitely. Which dirty keto is where you can eat fast food, you can eat bacon, you can eat all that crap, but you just don't eat the bread. Low carb is similar to Atkins. You try to get to 20 carbohydrates a day and then you just stop. So I would combine that with the OMAD, the 1 meal a day, and the weight just started coming off. But that wasn't all I was doing. Okay. I had these pills, which I'll put a link to them in the description below. They were white kidney bean pills. And I didn't follow the instructions. I took way more than I was supposed to on those. I can't recommend that you do this. I am just telling you what worked for me. But I would take the white kidney bean pills. And I also used a product called Plexus, which, yeah, it's a multi level marketing product. But combined with the intermittent fasting and the white kidney bean pills, the Plexus really did help me not like have any cravings or want to eat. So I would do 1 meal a day. And in that 1 meal, I would try to eat as little as possible, which doesn't sound easy, but I promise after a few days, it is pretty easy. That was just at the start that I did the low carb because eventually I got into such a rhythm that I just watched what I ate. I could eat anything that I wanted. I just couldn't eat mass quantities of it. Okay. I discovered that I had basically two walls in my stomach. When you're getting full, you say, that you've hit the wall and that you can't eat anymore. You can't shove any more food down anybody. I discovered that I had the two walls in there, and you got to stop eating at the first wall. A lot of times we feel like we've almost hit a wall, and then we just keep eating a little bit more because it's so delicious, or whatever lame excuse we come up with. But if you'll stop at that first wall and wait like 15 or 20 minutes, you're just not hungry anymore. I promise. It really does work. Another thing that I came up with is that whether I put the food in the trash can or in my mouth, if I've put too much on my plate, then it's wasted either way. It's wasted in my body or it is wasted in the trash can because I don't need it to live. Okay. Really try to do calorie restriction with this, but it kind of happens naturally because of the 1 meal a day thing and because of the supplements that you're taking. You just don't stay hungry. It's almost like our bodies were designed to work this way. It's crazy. So you go to like 70 or 80% full, you hit that first wall, you stop eating. You tell yourself, I've had this before. I don't need that. I'm good. I know what it tastes like. And this sounds stupid, but I promise this is what I used. I have lost about 65 or 70 pounds since I got off of chemo. And this has been doctor approved. They did not mind me doing this whatsoever. And honestly, I think that's been one thing that has helped keep the cancer at bay. They may disagree with that part of it, but who cares? I disagree with a lot of what they say, so it doesn't matter. So we got two walls in the stomach. You stop at the first wall, wasted on the plate or wasted in the stomach. There was something else, and I'm having trouble thinking about it. And this is why I shouldn't do videos without notes. Gosh. So I was always taught that you eat what you order what you want, but you eat what you get. That was my grandpa's saying, and it passed it down to my parents, and that's how we rolled. And it's it's terrible, terrible advice. You order what you want and eat what you get. So if they bring you like a freaking plate full of food, eat it all because you ordered it. No, it's either wasted on the plate or wasted in your stomach. It's terrible, terrible, terrible advice. Another thing that I try to do, since that was ingrained in me, I always try to leave a little bit of food on my plate, no matter how much food I put on there to begin with. It's just a psychological thing. I will throw away food on purpose. That's kind of terrible, but I don't care. It has worked. It's a brain thing. So you leave a little food on your plate. And then when you're fixing your plate, you don't put as much food on there. Also, there's no such things as seconds. Yeah, you just eat what's on your plate and then you're done. It works. It does work. So I don't know why I'm making this video because it's really just feels like I'm rambling here, but I need you guys to know I was fat and now I'm not fat. I weighed this morning, I weighed like 167, and honestly, I've fallen off of the bandwagon a little bit. So I got down to like 150. I'm nearly 6 feet tall. I got too skinny. So I had to start building back up. One thing to watch out for that I did not watch out for is muscle loss. That's something that I'm working on now, trying to build muscle up and making sure I get a little protein. Protein kind of scares me because believe it or not, too much protein can cause cancer. So I don't want none of that. But you do have to have protein to build muscles. I'm not looking to get ripped. I'm just looking to, not struggle to push a chair around. So anyway, it didn't get that bad, I promise, but I was skinny. People were worried about me. People were asking me what happened. I know what they were thinking. When a cancer patient gets skinny, it's not a good thing necessarily, but I, it was in this particular case. So, in conclusion, you should try this. If you are struggling to lose weight, you should try this intermittent fasting. Okay? Intermittent fasting. Start with 16:8. All you have to do is skip breakfast, start eating at noon, eat a small lunch, don't snack, eat again at 6 or 7, completely stop eating at 8 o'clock. When you go to bed, you're fasting. It's not hard. Then, when you do eat, don't fill your plate. And if you get too much food, just tell yourself it's either wasted on the plate or wasted in my body. You don't have to eat everything that you put on your plate either. Leave some stuff on your plate. I hope this has been helpful to you. And, the biggest thing here is consistency. You can't try this for a month and expect it to work. This is a multi-year process. But I promise you, if you do this, unless you've got some kind of imbalance, you will lose weight. And if anybody should have an imbalance, it's me. So you will lose weight if you try this method. I hope you'll try it. Have you tried it? If you have tried it, please let me know in the comments. I want to hear about it. If you've had some struggles with it, let me know in the comments. If you've tried it and it hasn't worked for you, I want to know that too. I'm really curious. I'm just trying to share some things that worked for me. So, anyway, I might reshoot this video. You should probably check out this video right here that YouTube thinks that you'll like. We'll see you later.